No, Mummy, I don't want to marry him! Angela's scream sliced through the air like a flying cutlass. She flung her arms everywhere, kicking her heels into the dusty ground, rolling in panic as tears streaked her dirty face like cracked paint. Meanwhile, Henry, the dusty, barefoot wheelbarrow pusher, lifted Angela's heavy luggage and dropped it into his rattling wheelbarrow as if it were a feather. "Come on, my bride," he said, forcing a smile. "We have a life to start." The neighbours froze, birds scattered, someone shouted, "Jesus!" Chaos officially signed in. Agatha, her stepsister, couldn't stop laughing. Big, loud, greedy laughs that made everyone around cringe. "Ha! Ha! Ha! The wheelbarrow pusher is your husband now, Angela! Can you believe it? Ha! I get the house all to myself, finally! The real heir has spoken." Angela's sobs only got louder, echoing through the yard like an alarm. Every neighbour peeped through their windows, some snickering, some whispering about the madness of the day. Agatha skipped away, tossing her curls in the air, muttering, "Enjoy your poor life, sister. Don't trip on the dirt path to your so-called new happiness." As Henry pushed Angela's luggage in a squeaky, rusty wheelbarrow, she kept crying, kicking and screaming, "I don't want him! I don't want him!" But nobody listened. The street looked like a circus, the kind where the main act was a crying orphan and a very confused wheelbarrow pusher. Little did anyone know, the very man struggling with that old wheelbarrow, drenched in sweat and dust, was no ordinary street pusher. Henry was hiding a secret that would turn this tragic, chaotic wedding upside down. A secret that could make Angela the luckiest poor bride in the world, whether she liked it or not. And so with screams, laughter, and a rusty wheelbarrow dragging hope and despair behind them, the most chaotic wedding of the year began.
Welcome, beloved viewers. Before we dive in, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss what's coming next. This story is packed with emotions, secrets, and unexpected turns. Sit back. Let the drama speak for itself.
When Angela's father died, she didn't only lose a parent, she lost her entire life in one afternoon. Before that day, Angela lived like a quiet princess. She wasn't loud like Agatha, her stepsister, and she didn't fight for attention. She just loved her books, her clean room, her soft bed, and the smell of breakfast prepared by one of their many maids. But the moment they lowered her father's coffin into the grave, Angela felt something heavy drop on her chest. And she was right, life was about to show her pepper. The very next morning, Agatha's mother, Madame Patricia, stood in front of Angela's room door like a landlord inspecting late rent. "Angela," she called, tapping the door like she wanted to break it. "Wake up. Your new life starts today." Angela sat up, rubbing her eyes. "My new life? What life?" Madame Patricia smiled, not the kind smile, the kind that looked like trouble wearing lipstick. "Your father is gone. School is cancelled. All maids are sacked. From today, you are the maid." Angela blinked twice. "Me? Maid? But I have exams next week." Patricia clapped her hands mockingly. "Congratulations. Your exam is inside the kitchen. Go and wash the plates." From that moment, Angela's life did a perfect backflip. 1 minute she was holding textbooks. The next minute she was holding a broom the size of her destiny. The maids left one by one that afternoon, dragging their bags and whispering pity. "Sorry, oh!" "Angela," one of them said. "Just endure. Pray," another whispered. "God will judge them." Angela forced a smile, but she felt like crying into the mop bucket. Her first task, sweeping the entire compound, including the backyard where no human being had entered since 1982. As she dragged the broom, a lizard ran out from behind a broken flower pot. Angela screamed and jumped like someone who stepped on fire. Agatha, who stood on the balcony with a bowl of cereal, burst into laughter. "See her!" she shouted. "Big girl turned house girl, sweep fast, lizard chaser!" Angela hissed inside her throat, but kept sweeping. If she talked back, she knew Madame Patricia would turn her into a mophead next. By afternoon, her second assignment arrived. "Angela," Patricia called again. "Wash the clothes, all of them." Angela looked at the mountain of laundry. She blinked. The clothes blinked back. Some even threatened her spirit. "Ma," Angela whispered, "this looks like 1 month laundry." Patricia waved her hand. Wash it before sunset, and remember to iron everything, including socks. Angela almost fainted. Iron? Socks? Yes. Rich people's socks must not bend, Patricia replied proudly. Angela dragged the laundry outside like a prisoner dragging chains. She started washing, sweating, panting, praying softly. God, what did I do? Did I offend heaven? By evening, Angela's back was crying. Her hands were shaking like MTN network. But Patricia wasn't done. Angela, go and cook dinner! Agatha shouted from the sitting room, legs crossed on the table. And make it fast! I'm hungry! And don't put pepper! My stomach is soft! Angela looked at her tiny, tired body inside. My own stomach is stoner by. She cooked, cleaned, washed, swept, mopped, and even unclogged the gutter because Agatha threw orange peels inside it. By the time she entered her room that night, she fell on her mattress like a dead phone battery. From princess to prisoner, from schoolgirl to house help, from daughter of the house to property of the house. She hugged her pillow and whispered, "If Daddy can see me now, he will wake up from that grave and fight somebody." Little did Angela know, destiny had only just finished stretching. The real chaos was still coming, and it was coming with a wheelbarrow. 2 years passed after Angela's father was buried. 2 long, heavy, pepper-filled years. Years of washing clothes until her fingers looked like old chewing gum. Years of scrubbing floors until her knees developed a permanent housegirl posture. Years of Agatha shouting, "Angela, bring water!" every 5 minutes like a malfunctioning doorbell. Angela aged in suffering, but she grew wiser, stronger, and somehow more beautiful in a quiet, humble way. The kind of beauty you only see when she lifts her head or wipes her tears. Meanwhile, Patricia and Agatha were living their usual life of fake class, bleaching their skin, wearing cheap wigs with expensive attitude, and praying every day for one rich man to mistakenly pass by their house. One hot afternoon, Patricia was dressed to go out. She had applied so much powder that she looked like a baked donut. Just as she stepped outside, car keys in hand, a massive, black, intimidating SUV pulled up at their gate. The type of car that made neighbours drop their plates and peep through their windows. Patricia froze. Her mouth opened slowly. Jesus, my helper has finally located me. The gate man almost fainted. Even the goats behind the house stopped eating. The SUV door opened and out stepped a man that could make a mirror blush. Tall, neat, sharp suit, shoe shining like morning sun, perfume reaching the compound before him. Patricia's heart began beating bam bam like generator sound. "Good afternoon, Ma." His voice was deep, calm, wealthy. Patricia smiled like someone who had just seen Bridal Price. "Good afternoon, my son. Welcome to our humble home. What can I do for you?" The man adjusted his cufflinks and said politely, "Please, Ma, I am looking for Angela." Patricia's smile died instantly. "Angela?" She blinked fast. "Which Angela? You must be mistaken. Nobody important can be looking for Angela." The man frowned slightly. "No, Ma, I am very sure. Angela, slim girl, quiet, soft-spoken." Patricia hissed before he could finish. "Ah! That one? Angela is our maid. The only daughter in this house is Agatha. If you are looking for someone important, it's Agatha." The billionaire cleared his throat. "Actually, Ma, I met Angela about 3 months ago. My car broke down near the old market. I couldn't find a mechanic. I was sweating, frustrated, and angry. Then she walked by, carrying her market bag, and offered to help." Patricia's eyes shot open. "Help? Angela?" The man nodded proudly. "Yes, Ma. She fixed the car. She told me she used to study mechanical engineering before her father passed away and her life changed. I promised to come back and appreciate her." Patricia looked like someone who swallowed hot charcoal. She forced a dry laugh. "Aha! That girl! But she's just a maido! Maid! Leave her!" "Let me call Agatha for you. She's the one that is beautiful, educated, delicate. You will fall in love instantly." The man blinked, confused. "No, Ma, please just call Angela. I promised her." Patricia wasn't listening again. She was already dialing Agatha. Agatha, baby, she said sweetly into the phone. Come downstairs quick. Someone very important is here to see you. Come with your fine wiggo. By the time she hung up, she had already pushed Angela's name aside like cheap pepper. She smiled at the man again. What did you say your name is, handsome? He gave a faint smile. My name is Confidence. Wow! Patricia pressed a hand to her chest. Such powerful name. Confidence, listen, if you must see or marry anybody in this family, it must be my daughter Agatha. She is the star of this house. Angela is just... Before she finished, footsteps echoed from the stairs. Tap, tap, tap. Agatha appeared, dressed like she was going for a beauty pageant. Makeup heavy, wig fresh, perfume strong enough to resurrect a chicken. She gave a slow, dramatic smile. Patricia nearly fainted from pride. Confidence, meet my angel, Agatha! Confidence stared at Agatha politely, but his eyes didn't shine, not even a small sparkle, the type of dryness that said, this is not who I came for. Agatha frowned slightly. Why wasn't he drooling already? Hello, she said again, trying to sound sweet. Confidence nodded. Good afternoon. His eyes scanned behind her, expecting another figure to appear. Patricia noticed and quickly blocked him with her smile again. Don't worry about Angela. Confidence. She's washing gutter behind the house. She is not your type. Agatha is... Ma. Confidence interrupted gently but firmly. Please, I came for Angela. I want to thank her personally. She helped me when nobody else did. Patricia's face twisted like someone chewing bitter leaf. Agatha gasped, insulted. Me? Am I invisible? Confidence ignored her politely. Please call Angela. For the first time in 2 years, Patricia had no words. The rich man didn't want Agatha, the one she decorated like a trophy. He wanted Angela, the girl she had buried under chores. The compound fell silent. Fans stopped turning, birds stopped flying, even the house seemed to take a deep breath. And downstairs, behind the house, Angela was busy scrubbing the gutter. She had no idea her destiny had just arrived in an expensive SUV. Confidence sighed quietly as he stepped out of the compound. He walked towards his car, adjusting his suit, already preparing to leave the madness behind. But Patricia and Agatha were not done. The moment he touched his car door, Patricia rushed after him like she was chasing heavenly favour. Confidence! My son, wait now. She grabbed his arm gently, smiling like a woman trying to sell fake gold. Agatha joined her, twisting her waist and smiling shyly. Sir, don't mind anything my mummy said before that annoyed you, but like she said, I'm the one you should know better. I can make you very happy. Patricia nodded vigorously. Yes, yes! Confidence, please choose my daughter. She is beautiful, well-trained, very, very exposed. She will suit your class. Angela is too. She looked around, lowered her voice. Too basic for you. Agatha flipped her hair like she was doing audition for Miss Universe. I can cook, I can dance, I can even sing. She lied, because the last time she tried singing, the house dog barked for 5 minutes straight. Confidence simply sighed and gave a polite nod. All right, Ma, I will check on her in 2 days' time. Patricia almost danced. Agatha grinned proudly, already imagining wedding rings and honeymoon locations. Confidence entered his SUV and drove off, leaving mother and daughter celebrating like they had won a lottery. They didn't know destiny had ears. 2 days later, the compound was unusually clean. Angela had swept it 5 times, and Agatha changed outfits at least 8 times, even though Confidence wasn't her fiancé yet. When his SUV finally entered the compound, Patricia screamed, He's here! Everybody behave! Angela! Come downstairs and serve drinks! Angela rushed down, breathless, wiping her hands on her old faded skirt. She carried the tray of drinks carefully, her heart pounding. She didn't want any trouble today. Confidence stepped into the sitting room, but this time, something was different. He walked in with calm confidence, wearing a simple shirt and jeans, yet still looking like a $1 million movie scene. Patricia dragged Agatha to sit beside him like a glued statue. Angela entered with the tray. Her eyes didn't even rise. She was too nervous. She placed drinks on the table with shaky hands. Angela! You almost spilled it on him. Agatha barked, even though nothing spilled. Confidence watched quietly. His eyes followed Angela as she moved, slow, tired, humble. She didn't even recognize him. Her hair was tied in a rough bun, her hands stained with pepper and detergent. Her face carried 2 years of suffering. Confidence swallowed hard. This was the same girl who fixed his car with boldness and intelligence. This was the girl he came to appreciate, but he stayed calm. Agatha crossed her legs and leaned towards him. So, Confidence, have you been thinking about me? She asked in her pretend soft voice. Patricia added, Yes, my son. She's been waiting. Angela turned to leave quietly, but Agatha's eyes caught her. Hey, you! She snapped. Don't walk away like that. You haven't greeted my man. Angela blinked. Your man? Agatha stood up proudly. Yes, my man. This billionaire you see here is mine. So, better behave yourself. Remember, I told you not to mess up with him. Don't try nonsense. Patricia laughed loudly. Yes-o! Angela, don't go and embarrass yourself. Know your place. He can never look at you twice. Angela looked down embarrassed, gripping the tray tighter. Confidence sat still, but inside he was shocked. So this is how they treat her? This is the girl they reduced to nothing? He watched Angela struggle to hold back tears while Patricia and Agatha continued their performance. Agatha walked close to Angela, whispering loudly on purpose. You see this life? Some of us are chosen. Some of you are just workers. Patricia clapped her hands mockingly. Angela, my dear, better find your level. This one is above you. Confidence's jaw tightened. He wanted to speak. He wanted to defend her. He wanted to say, This is the girl who saved me when nobody else did. But he didn't. Not yet. Instead, he picked up his drink and took a slow sip, observing everything. Patricia smiled sweetly. So, Confidence, when will you come again? He nodded professionally. I will return. Agatha almost fainted from excitement. Tomorrow! Next week! Tell me now! Confidence stood up, eyes softening for a brief moment as he glanced at Angela. Soon, he said simply. Angela didn't look back. She was already walking away, tray on her shoulder, heart heavy, believing she was invisible. Confidence stepped out of the house slowly, the truth burning in his mind. 1 week passed after Confidence's visit, and in those 7 days, Agatha behaved like someone who had already printed wedding invitations. She walked like a rich man's fiancé, talked like one, slept like one, even breathed like one. Every morning she woke up, she painted her face, looked at herself in the mirror and whispered, Agatha Confidence, Agatha Confidence. Practicing her future billionaire wife signature. Angela, meanwhile, kept washing gutters and scrubbing floors. She barely slept, barely smiled, barely existed. Patricia and Agatha used her suffering as entertainment. Every time Angela passed, Patricia would whisper loudly, God forbid my daughter ends up like that. And Agatha would add, Angela is allergic to good luck. She can never attract a rich man, never, but destiny has the funniest sense of humour. Then one day, Agatha was just returning home one hot afternoon. The sun was shining, but somehow she was shining more. She had gone to visit a friend just to brag about her incoming billionaire fiancé. A taxi dropped her at the gate. The moment she stepped out gracefully, she saw him, a man, dirty, dusty, barefoot, clothes brown with sweat, holding a rusty wheelbarrow like it was his best friend. He stood right in front of her house gate, smiling. Agatha screamed like she had seen a ghost. What are you doing at my gate, you clothing thing? You dirty man, move away before your poverty touches me. The man didn't move. Instead, he stepped forward, put one hand on his chest dramatically and said, Please, please marry me, beautiful woman. My heart yearned for you. Make me a complete man. Agatha froze. Then she burst into loud, uncontrollable laughter. Ha! She laughed so hard she almost fell. You? Marry who? Me? You want to marry me? You, this wheelbarrow human being? She moved closer, slapped him sharply across the face. Prah! How dare you? Do you know who I am? My billionaire husband-to-be will use you as footmat. The man held his cheek but didn't walk away. He looked determined, or confused, or both. Agatha, still laughing, turned to go inside, but then something clicked in her wicked mind. She turned slowly. Wait. The wheelbarrow pusher stopped. Agatha folded her arms. What did you say your name is again? The man blinked. My name is Henry, Wheelbarrow Henry. Agatha shook her head dramatically. I didn't ask about your career, your name, he smiled proudly. Yes, Henry. Agatha raised one finger. Okay, Henry, stand right there. Don't move. Let me call my mother. Maybe, just maybe, I might have a change of mind. The man gasped, shocked, hopeful. Thank you, fine madam. Agatha rolled her eyes. Stay there, and don't breathe too loudly. She ran inside like she had discovered free gold. Mummy! Mummy! Come outside quickly. Patricia came out adjusting her wrapper. What is it? Why are you shouting like police is chasing you? Mummy, there is a man outside, Agatha whispered dramatically. He wants to marry me. Patricia's eyes widened to the size of frying pans. A man? Where? Let's go. They rushed outside. The moment Patricia saw Henry with his wheelbarrow barefoot legs and dust-coated hair, she almost fainted. She blinked repeatedly. You want to marry my daughter? Henry nodded proudly. Yes, ma. Yesterday, ma. Today, ma. Even forever, ma. Patricia gasped. This kind of bold poverty was new, but she put on her fake, classy smile. I love your boldness, she said slowly, and it has earned you a wife. Agatha covered her mouth to stop herself from laughing again. Patricia continued, Come back in 2 weeks' time and marry your wife. Henry knelt down on the dusty floor, thanking them like they were angels. Patricia and Agatha nodded politely until he left. The moment the gate closed, they burst into loud, wicked laughter. Agatha held her stomach. Mummy, did you see his legs? Did you see his hair? He wants to marry me? Ha! Patricia clapped her hands. This world is mad. A wheelbarrow pusher wants to marry a billionaire's future wife. They laughed so hard their wigs almost shifted. And then Angela walked in. She just returned from hanging clothes behind the house. She didn't even know what had happened, but the moment Agatha saw her, the laughter increased. Patricia pointed at Angela and said, loud enough for the neighbours to hear, Angela, come-o! A wheelbarrow man came to look for you. Agatha added, Yes! Oh, we should start the wedding plan immediately. Angela tried to hide her hurt, but it showed. Patricia leaned into Agatha. The wheelbarrow man is for you, Angela. While Agatha will marry a billionaire, everybody gets their size. They laughed again. Angela stood quietly, tears forming, but she refused to cry in front of them. And somewhere, just beyond the gate, Henry, the wheelbarrow man, paused and looked back at the compound. Then he smiled a strange smile, the kind of smile destiny wears before it shocks everyone. Meanwhile, back at home, laughter was still shaking the compound like earthquake. Angela blinked fast, fighting the tears that were burning her eyes. Mummy, Patricia, please, her voice cracked. I don't want to marry him. Patricia raised one eyebrow. You don't want to marry who? That wheelbarrow man, she whispered, trembling. I'm not ready for marriage. Before Angela could finish, Patricia gave her a hot slap, sharp and loud. Prah! Will you shut up your mouth there? At 24, you are not ready. Is it when you are 45, you will now be ready to leave my house? Agatha clapped mockingly. Yes, when she is 45, she will now do introduction. Angela broke completely. She knelt on the floor, hands shaking, tears rolling. Please, please, I'm begging you, don't give me to him. I will do anything you want. I will work harder. I will not complain again. Please, I don't want to marry the wheelbarrow pusher. Patricia folded her arms. Did I hear anything? Angela sobbed louder. Please. Patricia smiled coldly. I have already promised him, and I don't break promises. He is bold. He knelt down. He begged. That alone has earned him a wife. Agatha added, and you better thank God someone even wants you, because honestly, I didn't know you had a market value. They both laughed again. Angela's heart broke like glass. From that day onwards, Patricia and Agatha turned the house into a war zone, and Angela was the target. In the morning, Agatha poured dirty water from washing her wig directly in Angela's bucket of clean clothes. Oops. Sorry, my hand slipped, she said with a wicked smile. In the afternoon, Patricia intentionally scattered the kitchen after Angela cleaned it. You missed a spot, she said casually. Start again. And here you go. Pasted exactly as you wrote it, with no editing at all. And in the evening, Agatha threw her laundry at Angela. Wash these clothes well. I can't let my billionaire fiancé see me in dirty outfits. And that's how her days turned into chaos. Angela barely slept a full hour. Her hands were peeling, her back ached, her emotions were shattered, and whenever she tried to rest for 2 minutes, Patricia's voice thundered the whole house. Angela! Come and massage my legs! Angela! My food is not tasty! Angela! The bathroom is wet. It never ended. Angela cried every night. She cried until her pillow became soaked. Sometimes she cried until her throat hurt. Sometimes she begged God to make her disappear. But the worst torture came each evening when Agatha would sit before the mirror applying makeup and smiling proudly. Angela, she would say, I hope you know I am marrying a billionaire, while your own husband is pushing wheelbarrow on the road. She would burst into laughter. Patricia would join her. Angela, my dear, be happy you even have a man. Not everyone gets that blessing. Sometimes Angela wondered if she was truly their maid or an abandoned human experiment. I don't think I remembered my identity again. Then, one night, after everyone had eaten, Angela entered the kitchen to wash the dishes. Her hands were shaking. She was exhausted. Even breathing felt like work. Suddenly, Patricia stormed into the kitchen holding a spoon. This soup is too salty. Did you cook it? She demanded. Angela shook her head quickly. No, Agatha cooked it. Patricia didn't even hear her. Before she could speak, Patricia threw the spoon at her. You want to kill me? You witch! Ah! I should have known your evil agenda! Agatha came in, pretending to cry. Mummy, she wants to spoil my relationship! She wants Confidence to see us fighting, so he will not marry me. Patricia turned sharply to Angela. So that is your plan? You want to scatter Agatha's destiny because you don't have one? Angela's tears fell like rain. No, Ma. Please. Patricia pointed at the dirty dishes. Be careful before I slap destiny out of you. If you like cry blood, in less than 1 week time you are getting married. End of discussion. Agatha dragged Angela's hair lightly. Make sure you don't embarrass me, wheelbarrow bride. Angela cried harder, collapsing to her knees. My life is finished, she whispered. My life is finished. Patricia hissed. Then go and finish those plates before they finish you. They walked out laughing. Hours later, at midnight, Angela was still awake, ironing Agatha's clothes. Her hands trembled, her face swollen from crying, her heart sinking deeper and deeper. She stared out the window at the dark sky. God, why me? She whispered. What have I done? But the sky remained silent, and her future seemed darker than the night. 2 days to the wedding, Angela's life had turned into a full-time nightmare. Her eyes were always swollen from crying, her voice cracked from begging, and every corner of the house now felt like a prison yard. That morning, she was scrubbing the compound on her knees when Patricia's voice thundered. Angela, you useless girl, hurry up! Do you want guests to meet dirt on the ground on your wedding day? Angela slowly lifted her tired head. Mummy, please. I don't want to marry him. I'm begging you. I can't. I'm not ready. Before she finished, Agatha stepped out wearing a short fancy gown that glittered like she was going for a party. She looked at Angela and burst into laughter. Sorry, my dear co-wife, she mocked. You better marry your fellow poor man. That's your level. Leave billionaire husbands for people like me. Patricia folded her arms, nodding sharply. Look at you. At 24, you say you are not ready. Useless girl. Angela cried harder, and just as Patricia turned to go inside, a deep voice came from the gate. Good morning. They all turned. An expensive black SUV was parked neatly outside, and Confidence stepped out. Neat haircut, calm aura, powerful presence. Patricia instantly transformed from a lion to a dove. Ah, Confidence! My in-law, my son-in-law, she sang, dancing small dance steps. Agatha almost twisted her waist, trying to pose beautifully. But Confidence wasn't looking at them. His eyes were on Angela, kneeling on the floor holding a dirty rag, her fingers shaking, tears still dropping. He frowned deeply. Why is she on the ground? He asked quietly. Patricia panicked. She's lazy. We are forcing her to learn responsibility. You know these children of nowadays. Angela bent her head shamefully. She still didn't remember him. Confidence stepped a little closer. Angela, he called softly. She froze. The voice, the tone, where had he heard it? Slowly she lifted her face. Their eyes met. But before she could speak, Agatha quickly grabbed Confidence's hand. Baby, come inside! Come and see the wedding invitation design! Leave the maid jaw! Confidence gently removed his hand from her grip. Agatha, is she truly your maid? Agatha smiled proudly. Of course, a common nobody. Daddy died and she became a liability. We are even helping her. Now she's getting married to her size. A wheelbarrow pusher in 2 days' time. Can you imagine? She's even pregnant for him. She laughed loud. Patricia joined. Confidence's jaw tightened, but he said nothing. He only looked at Angela again, and her pain stabbed him. He finally spoke quietly. I will come for her wedding day. Agatha smiled big. That event is not a billionaire like you. Confidence did not correct her. He simply turned and left the compound. The morning of the wedding came like a slap. No joy, no music, no family happiness. Only tears, insults, and shame. Patricia dragged Angela outside. You must marry today. Don't disgrace me. The compound was filled with neighbours whispering and gossiping. Ah! Patricia's maid is marrying a wheelbarrow pusher. Ha! God forbid! What kind of bad luck life is this one? The dusty road felt endless. Angela kept wiping her tears with the back of her shaking hand while Henry pushed the wheelbarrow proudly beside her, humming one strange song as if he had just married a princess. People pointed. Some laughed. Some shook their heads in pity. After walking for a long time, the houses became fewer. The road became quieter, and trees surrounded them like they were entering another world. Suddenly, a taxi slowed down beside them. Henry turned to Angela. Enter. Angela frowned. Enter. Why? Where are we going again? I thought your house is not far here. Just enter, Henry said calmly. Angela hesitated, then slowly climbed into the taxi. Henry placed her luggage carefully inside, paid the driver, and sat beside her. The taxi drove for almost 2 hours, 57 minutes. Angela stopped crying. Confusion took over her tears. Then the car pulled over in front of a massive black iron gate, tall, quiet, expensive, the type only very wealthy families owned. Angela blinked fast. She sat up. Where is this? She whispered. Henry smiled for the first time since morning. Home. Angela's eyes doubled. Home? Which home? Gate that looks like it belongs to a governor. The gate slid open on its own. 2 uniformed security men saluted. Welcome, sir. Angela turned sharply. Sir? Who be, sir? Henry? Henry stepped out confidently. Please, help me keep my wife's luggage in the storage room, he told the security guard politely. The guard nodded immediately. Angela froze like a statue. Wife? Storage room? Mansion? Her brain refused to understand. Henry gently touched her arm. Come. Angela followed slowly, her mouth open like a shocked fish. Inside the compound was another world entirely. A large mansion with glass walls, expensive cars parked neatly, flowers arranged beautifully. Even the staircase outside looked richer than the entire house she came from. Angela whispered, Jesus, who is this man? Henry opened the door for her, something no one had ever done for her in her life. She stepped into a shining living room. Golden chandelier, white marble floor, soft smell of expensive air freshener. Her tears stopped, replaced by fear. Henry walked her down a long hallway and opened a door. Please go in, he said gently. Angela stepped inside the room. It was even bigger than the entire apartment she shared with Patricia and Agatha. Neatly arranged designer clothes, perfumes, bags, cream, shoes, wigs, everything a woman could dream of. Henry smiled at her confusion. Please, clean up. Wear something nice. Everything you need is in here. When you are done, come out. We need to talk about us. Us? Angela gasped. Henry nodded politely, then stepped out and closed the door quietly. Angela grabbed her chest. Her heart was beating like a talking drum. She whispered to herself, Who is this man? Why did he dress like a poor wheelbarrow pusher? Is this a joke? Even the gateman looked cleaner than him. She paced around the room. God, what is happening? Patricia! Agatha! If I tell them now, they will faint. She touched the clothes, the walls, the perfume bottles. Everything looked too expensive to even breathe near. Slowly she bathed, dressed up, and brushed her hair. Her beauty came out naturally. Simple, soft, innocent. When she opened the door gently and stepped out, Henry was standing at the end of the hallway. But it wasn't the dirty Henry she knew. No wheelbarrow, no torn trousers, no bare feet, no beard. He had transformed. He wore a perfectly ironed designer shirt, clean black trousers, a luxury wristwatch, fresh haircut, shoes that looked like they cost someone's school fees. Angela froze, her jaw dropped. Even Henry gasped when he saw her. He placed his hand on his chest. You look beautiful. Angela could barely breathe, but suddenly her eyes widened with recognition. She stepped closer. You, she stammered. Henry smiled. Yes? Angela pointed her shaking finger. You are Confidence, the billionaire that came for Agatha. He nodded slowly. Angela staggered backward. You are Confidence Okoro? Yes, he said calmly. I am Confidence Okoro, but I disguised myself as Henry the wheelbarrow pusher. Angela grabbed her head with both hands. What kind of movie is this? Patricia and Agatha's voices echoed in her mind. Marry your level? Wheelbarrow wife! Maid of life! Better marry your size! Angela laughed, then cried, then laughed again. She whispered shakily, Why? Why would a billionaire dress poor like that? Confidence stepped closer, eyes gentle. Sit down, Angela. Let me tell you the real reason behind everything. 3 days later, just as Patricia was sipping leftover cold tea and complaining about life, a loud knock hit the gate. Kapo! Kapo! Who is that? Patricia shouted. Dispatcher ma! Delivery! Patricia hissed, dragged herself to the gate, collected the envelope and walked back inside. She tore it open lazily, then her eyes widened, then her mouth opened, and then she screamed, Agatha! Agatha jumped from the chair. Mummy, what is it? Did fuel price increase again? Patricia shook the letter in the air dramatically. It's that wheelbarrow pusher. He said he's coming back this weekend to marry Angela properly. He said his parents and friends will be coming with him. Agatha burst into uncontrollable laughter. Ha 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 ha! Coming with who? Wheelbarrow Association of Nigeria. I beg let him come. Let them all come with their poverty, Patricia hissed. Imagine the little money they still have for food will finish on that useless wedding. See their life. Agatha danced fake sympathy. Mummy, suffering is now their roommate. They laughed and laughed until tears came out, but destiny was polishing its cutlass quietly. On the said day, by 10 a.m., their street was still quiet, dusty, and normal. Nothing suggested history was about to slap Patricia and Agatha. Then, suddenly, vroom! The loud sound of engines tore through the air. Neighbours rushed out. Children dropped their slippers and shouted. Elders looked up like, what is this? An entire convoy of luxurious cars zoomed in, one black Lamborghini shining like midnight rain, 4 Rolls-Royces, a G-Wagon convoy, several SUVs with tinted windows, a lead security van blasting sirens. People screamed like carnival. Jesus, who is getting married today? Is a governor coming? Patricia and Agatha rushed outside, confused, hair flying, faces shaking. Agatha froze. Mummy, she whispered, This looks like a billionaire's wedding. Did you read the letter well? Maybe Confidence is coming for my wedding. Patricia suddenly grabbed her chest. Yes, it must be for you. It cannot be for Angela and that poverty husband. Ha! Confidence is back for my daughter. As they were rejoicing, a large white van parked. The doors opened. And over 12 uniformed event workers jumped out like soldiers. Before the street could blink, they began to set up. Canopy, golden chairs, red carpet, flowers, massive speakers, a stage, a decorated arch. In 10 minutes, the whole street looked like a royal wedding venue. Patricia's jaw dropped to her knees. This is too much, Agatha, she whispered. Agatha smiled proudly. Well, Mummy, beauty needs celebration. But then the music changed. A soft romantic tune filled the street. All heads turned to the biggest car, a glowing white Rolls-Royce. The door opened slowly, and Angela stepped out first. She looked like a queen who grew wings overnight. Her gown sparkled, her skin glowed, her smile was shy but bright like sunrise. The crowd gasped, What? Is that Angela? But she's so beautiful she could shine like this. Patricia nearly fainted. Agatha's mouth opened and never closed again. Then the man stepped out. Handsome, rich, powerful, not Henry the barefooted wheelbarrow pusher, but Confidence Okoro, billionaire, CEO, heartbreaker of Lagos. Gasps exploded in the crowd. Patricia's eyes popped like popcorn. Agatha fell to the ground and fainted for real. Confidence walked to the stage, collected the microphone, kissed Angela gently on her forehead and faced the crowd. Good afternoon, everyone. Silence. Some months ago, I met a woman who touched my heart with kindness. That woman is Angela. Crowd cheered. Patricia covered her face in shame. Agatha woke from fainting like a rejected ghost. Confidence continued. To protect our relationship, I married her quietly, as Henry the wheelbarrow pusher. Crowd screamed. He raised his voice, smiling proudly. But today, I am here to marry her properly. Not as Henry, but as Confidence Okoro, billionaire and heir to the Okoro empire. People almost climbed poles in excitement. He pulled Angela close. She is the woman I wanted. The one I chose, the one I love, and today, he raised her hand, she becomes my wife in full honour. Cheers shook the street. Agatha crawled on the floor, crying, "No! Confidence! It's me you want! It's me! I'm the beautiful one!" Confidence didn't even look at her. Patricia trembled. "Confidence, please. You promised." He cut her off. "I never promised either of you anything. I only saw your greed." The crowd shouted, "Yes! Tell them!" Patricia knelt in the dust, crying, "I don't want to be poor again. Confidence, please, I'm sorry." Confidence turned calmly. "You pushed the wrong girl out of your house, and now she is the one entering a mansion." Angela looked at Patricia with gentle eyes, but said nothing. Some pains are better left as lessons. Agatha screamed, hitting the floor, "Angela stole my billionaire!" Angela looked at her and replied softly, "I didn't steal anything. I was just myself." As the feast began and music filled the air, Angela walked hand in hand with Confidence into her new life. Neighbours celebrated, children danced, elders rejoiced, while at one corner, Patricia cried silently. Agatha sobbed loudly, both of them drowning in regret. They mocked the wheelbarrow pusher. They mocked Angela. They mocked Destiny. But Destiny wore designer suit, held a microphone, and married Angela in grand style. Dear viewers, that was how a wheelbarrow pusher became a billionaire groom. Life is truly a wheelbarrow. It moves, it turns, and it can lift anyone at any time. And today, it lifted Angela. Moral lessons. 1. Never look down on anyone. Today's wheelbarrow pusher may be tomorrow's billionaire. 2. Kindness is a seed. It grows in places you don't expect. 3. Wickedness may win for a moment, but goodness wins forever. So, besties, if you enjoyed this emotional, chaotic, and romantic journey, don't leave without showing love. Like this video, drop a comment below, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our next powerful stories. Share this video with someone who needs a smile today. Besties, your support is the fuel that keeps this channel alive. I love you all. See you in the next episode.